Hello everyone, today we're talking Aphotis dungeon, also known as Blood Surge Realm. This dungeon is part of the Explorers Guild, which is the new Falcon faction, and it's actually right at the beginning of the Explorers Guild that you actually unlock this dungeon. So it's quite straightforward, you don't need to walk around that much, you're just gonna fight the Aphotis boss. This is the path to get the key for initially going there on the blood portal and facing Aphotis. You don't need to kill Aphotis, you just need to bring him to 25% of his HP, and then you're teleported out of the dungeon and get your reward sent to Arak Depot. This is the path on the Revenants. You unlock the door and then you go straight through the blood portal and start the dungeon. To go back to the town, you just say hi back and then he will teleport you back. There's no level requirement, however, some people have reported that under level 250 you cannot get in the dungeon. I done the first time at 270 or something, it was no problem. Here are the possible rewards. You can get Necromantic Blood Robe, you can get a lot of cool things, and you also get 80 Cursed Soul Goblets, which is used on the training stations, which is amazing. Each use consumes about 50. You can do the dungeons and get the rewards 3 times a day, but the goblets, you would only get them on the first completion of the week and resets every Wednesday. So here's the fight with the boss. I'm gonna slow down the mechanics. So this is the first mechanic that he will start, the inner poison storm. Always look to the top to see what he's casting, and this basically means he's gonna do a sort of a cross poison explosion that should hit you for about 1.5 to 2k, so try not to get hit by that, maybe 1 to 2k. Aphotis can hurt by normal basic attacks and maybe throwing some SDs at you. So in summary, any death, physical, poison resistance, those are all valid resistances to bring here. Blasted Pendant over Amulet of the Elements for sure. Outer Blood Surge is the opposite, so now the cross, everything within that cross won't get hit, as you saw there. It's pretty easy to avoid that one, so shouldn't be a problem. Here we are shooting SDs because mostly, and the knights do explode, because most of the times this dungeon pays for itself, even if the shooters use SDs. And another one, and that's one of the most powerful spells, is the March of the Damned. As you can see there, March will come from any direction and it's gonna walk straight past you. So in this case, you went to the right side, to the left side, and if you stay in the middle of that march, you will get hit and it's gonna hurt. I think each can do up to 800 to 1k, each of that explosion. So if you actually get hit, you would lose a lot of HP there. Necrotic Blast, that doesn't do a lot of damage, but basically just don't stick together. You're gonna get hit no matter what. I've seen some hits from 100 all the way to 600 on that one. It just doesn't seem to be a problem because it's gonna hit everyone anyhow. Just don't everyone stack into a single space and you should be more than fine. Malevolent Residue. This is only for the blockers, so basically every 3 to 4 seconds a pink square is going to show beneath you and it's going to throw a poison field. If you get hit, it can do some heavy damage, or if you walk on it, it can do some heavy damage, but it's pretty easy to dodge. You just gotta walk around every 2 or 3 seconds after that square comes, and then the poison field will remain for maybe 20 to 25 seconds as you're seeing there on the screen. But it's pretty easy to avoid. Never been hit for that. Pillars of Vitality, this is sometimes a buggy mechanic, but it got fixed. So at this time, what you gotta do is you gotta stick close to the pillars. Whoever's closest to the pillars will get healed. There's a priority to Aphotis to get healed if he is on the same range as the person blocking him. So the blocker has to move around a little bit so it doesn't heal Aphotis, and instead heals the blocker, which is what I'm doing there. So each person can stay in one pillar, otherwise it's going to prioritize Aphotis if he's closer to the pillar. So that one is actually a mechanic that you get healed, you don't get damage from, but it also can heal Aphotis, and he heals quite heavily, so it's better not to waste SDs that you get the heals instead of him. Now it's the second March of the Damned. As I said, you always need to look around to see where it's coming from. In this case, I noticed it's coming south, and the Aphotis goes to the right side, it teleports, but you will also see that on the second time it also does another explosion, so there is a mechanic combined. I didn't need to slow down that much because, you know, the March, it's pretty chill. Also, Aphotis does not hit the blocker while he's on the casting state of the March. As you can see there, my HP went down quite a bit, but with a healer and with some UAs, you should be more than fine, even under level 270, which is the first time I blocked. Also, it's always good to keep Inatio. I've seen cases where he one-shot some mages or druids under level 250, under level 300 if you're not careful or if you're not wearing mana shield, which you shouldn't be wearing mana shield here. The blocker should always keep the Inatio on. However, in the video, I'm not doing that great of a job anyhow, just because my group, they're quite used to this dungeon. So even if eventually Aphotis target them, they should be more than fine. We never died on that one, but I've seen other shooters getting hit. Now, this case is the third wave. You gotta be a bit more careful because not only the March is gonna happen, but there's also a chance that he's gonna throw an inner poison storm, and also right after it starts the malevolent residue, so it can vary. The spell that he uses in this case was the malevolent residue, but it could also have been the inner poison storm. So if your mages and everyone stays on the bottom side as we were there, you can get hit by the inner poison storm, but I've never seen that one-shot anyone. But just be careful because it can combo pretty hard with his normal attacks. That's the case where it combos so you see the archer there get hit, but the druid was smart enough to go to the left side because he saw what was casting. So those are the cases, especially now that the archer has the spells that it decreases his HP quite a lot. You get to red minimum or deep red depending on the case, but I've never seen this one shot. So that's the case where it's going to start combining mechanics. But honestly, you know, if you kill fast enough with 4 shooters, everyone using SDs, it should never get this long into the process. It's just that we're all mostly under level 300s, and that's the part where we finish. And as you saw there, after I switched, it switched the healing back to Aphotis, but in this case the dungeon has already finished, so there was no risk there of losing anything. I suppose that's all about it. And then the rewards from you were not great, but I showed there in the beginning all the possible rewards. So do leave that like and subscribe if you liked this breakdown of the mechanics for Aphotis, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.